All right, we're going to start out with an overview of our quality system. So Duotech is currently registered to AS 9100C and ISO 9001-2008. We have a scope of registration that says we provide repair, design, production, testing, and overhaul services for electrical and electromechanical equipment for military and commercial. So that basically covers the whole realm of what we fix here. We are also FAA Part 145 certified, and that is a very limited certification. It's for Bendix Radio only. Our quality management system allows us to focus on continuous improvement, and that helps us to be an effective organization so that we can meet our customers' needs. It also allows us to know the industry standards and be able to abide by their guidelines so that we can have consistent product, and our effectiveness is at a point where our customers are satisfied with what we're doing. Our third-party registration makes us accountable. It makes us meet all the goals of the standard, and therefore our customers in turn know what they're getting because they know the standard we're being held to. All right, AS 9100 is based on the broad ISO 9001 standard. Basically what they did was they took the ISO 9001 and added to that to get the aerospace standard. So what we did was we added safety requirements, we added some additional things that the aerospace industry felt was necessary on top of the ISO. And it allows us to provide the consistency the customers are looking for. It also helps us to be compliant to regulatory statutory requirements of our government. They do regulate what we do, especially with military work. Qualification is required by the FAA in order to provide repair services for commercial aviation products. So we cannot work on commercial aviation products in a lot of cases without a certification. Like I said, our certification is very limited, but having that certification lets customers know, hey, these folks are held to a little bit higher standard. So some things they can send our way under different criteria. But we do have the FAA repair station up there, and it is dedicated to the product that they allow us to repair. The equipment that's on that station is dedicated to that station, and we'll talk about that a little bit. The items there have to remain in that location. Only authorized personnel are allowed to work on the FAA products. We do have people here that have their little FAA cards. So unless you're one of those people, you will not be able to work on the FAA part of this. Duotech's quality objectives. Our objectives are to maintain our certification. We don't want to do anything that's going to cause us to lose that. We are striving for 100% customer satisfaction, which means 0 defects and 0 complaints. We know that is a goal that's very high, but that's something we strive for. So the more we strive for that, the closer we can get toward that goal. 100% on-time delivery to customers is a big goal of ours. Most of our customers are very, very in tune to whether we're on time or not. One thing that I like to tell everybody is that your customer can also be internal. Like downstairs, if you're making something to support a repair job, if you're behind schedule, it throws them behind schedule, which in turn throws us behind schedule to our customer. So just be aware of that, kind of be aware of what you're working on and what your time frame is. 100% QMS effectiveness is based on responses to measurements. Each year we kind of keep track of how many parts were late, how many warranty returns we had, how much profitability we made, and we have a big management meeting every year to review those metrics and make sure that we're meeting our goals, and the ones we're not meeting, then we have to address those and try to figure out ways to improve that. AS 9100 certification brings responsibility to every employee. Each employee is responsible to deliver their best performance in order to assist the company in achieving its objectives. If we're not all rowing in the same direction, we're fighting against each other. So we all try to abide by the same set of rules in order to get to the outcome we're looking for. The quality department and department managers evaluate employees' performance regularly. That's generally through inspections. Silas will explain to you in a little while. We will have steps in our work logs that are laid out that we have to address each one, and built into those steps are inspection points. So we just need to make sure that we address each inspection point, and those are kind of the ways we evaluate work. We make sure the soldering is correct. We make sure things are wired correctly. So those are things that we need to be aware of and make sure that we're following the instructions. The quality management system is founded on defined processes. Those processes are in their entirety incorporated into our quality manual. The quality manual is the guidance for each process in the department. The manual itself lays out all of the requirements for our IS 9100 certification. It has in there all the requirements that Duotech expects of you, and it has references to the procedures that go with each section. So you will be shown where to get to that manual, and it would be a good idea for each of you to review that. That way you know what the processes are, you know what you need to be following. Each employee must know and follow all applicable processes to obtain success in the company. So if you're not following the processes as a whole, then there's something going to fall through the cracks. So make sure that you know what your process is for what you're working on. You're going to want to review the contract page. Silas will go into this in a little bit more detail, but basically each job is linked to a contract. There's a contract page with a barcode for each individual thing you're working on. And that contract page is going to give you information as to what quality standard the customer is requesting us to be held to for that product. It's going to tell you what the government regulations are, if it has FAR or DFAR clauses for a government contract. All that stuff's going to be spelled out for you there. If it requires test data, any of that pertinent information, you're going to find that on your contracts page. Anything you're working on, make sure you verify your part number and serial number before you start working on it. We do have several of the same things in-house, and you want to make sure you have the correct unit before you start work. Review and follow all of your work instructions. Don't skip any steps or leave any blanks. Just make sure you cross all your T's and dot all your I's so that everything's as it should be. Properly finalize your job and send any necessary notifications to quality, your manager, whomever you're supposed to notify that you're finished. The Quality Assurance Manual can be found on the current Quality Manuals link on the database, and Silas will show each of you how to get to that. Each department has its own set of processes in the Quality Manual. Anything to do with contracts is going to be in the 200s. So this just gives you a quick reference. You know where to go to look if you kind of know what you're looking for. Anything that has to do with the Quality Assurance Department is going to be in the 300s. Purchasing is the 400s. Engineering Design is the 500s. Repair is the 600s. And Production is the 700s. And you'll get familiar with that as you go along.